Good morning. Hope everyone is doing great. Hi, Valerie. How are you this morning? And I see Deborah's there. Tell me hello so I can see your who's connected. I can't see who's there unless you tell me. So Jeannie Horton, join us. I guess that means she's not here yet. So that's a good tip. What Valerie just did is we do our momentum mornings or whatever we're doing on Facebook. You know, we have to wake up people and say, hey, don't forget, we're online together. We're going to talk about having a great day, having a great month. Tag them. They can watch it now. They can watch it later. But please make sure you do that. And I'm working so hard for us to connect online when I can't get on an airplane and be everywhere I want to be. Like I'm going to be in Branson. I wish I could be in Waco. I can't be in Waco that day. Good morning, Cherie. How are you? Hey, Sherry. So make sure you do that, okay? All right, let's.
Is there something
Oh,
else I can help
nope.
with?
Siri, be quiet. I said Sherry, not Siri. Can you believe that? She thought I said Siri and I did not say Siri. Um, she's wonderful when she works, but sometimes she gets ignorant on me. Anyway, any of you all have times when you think whether you use the Amazon version, the Google version, or the Apple version, do you have moments where this is so awesome, it's so cool when it reminds you to do something or put something on your calendar, and then you just something as simple as telling it to turn the lights out, and it's like, huh? Anyway, I don't think these computers are as smart as we think they are, but they're getting smarter. So I hope you have a great day ahead of you. We're going to make it even better because we don't want to just let the day happen. We want to make it happen. And this is the last of our everyday momentum mornings. Y'all probably getting tired of hearing from me every day. But I know we had to do things repetitively to create a habit. So that's what we did this morning. We're going to start every day like we always do with some good fuel. But first, you're going to need this in a minute, and that is your little workbook. It's really a worksheet, but it can kind of be your working plan for the day. And you can come up with whatever system you want as your permanent system. But it's going to give you a piece of paper in front of you or a PDF for your iPad or whatever, so that when I give you like a little assignment later, you can dive in and use it. So it's at makealife.com/BYE 2025. And so make sure you do that. Hey, Cherie, thanks for joining us. Tell Dave I said hello. Hope he's having a good day too down in Florida. It's been so beautiful here in Springy, and we have got like 3 days of a deluge of rain coming. So I'm not looking forward to that. Um, but let's move on to, let's get our morning started here, okay? Oh, sorry, I missed the slide. So here's our 3 parts to our day. You may change this. You may change the wording. These semantics may not make sense for you. But since this is the last day, what I want you to do is I want you to get in the habit of doing 3 things that look something like this. First is to fuel up. And I can't really emphasize this anymore. This by itself is not going to make you rich. It's not going to make your paycheck grow overnight. It's not going to make you the nicest person in the world, the best spouse, the best mom, the best dad, the best child, the best friend, but it's going to be a major head start for you. And I don't really know how to describe this, except that there is this space within us. Let's say your soul is your whole being. Whatever, we've got our mind, our heart, our soul, our spirit. I don't know exactly what soul means to all of you, but I think soul is the wholeness. It's your whole being. It's who you are. So let's just say that soul, that mind, heart, spirit part of you, every morning when you sleep, just like your blood sugar goes down at night and it gets to this fasting level, when you wake up, it's low, it's empty. Well, that reservoir is empty too. Okay. And you need to fill it up. And it's going to get filled up because it kind of is like a vacuum. If you don't fill it up, it's going to suck in whatever is around it. And if you've recognized, like I have, that the world does not really just naturally add good things. I mean, it's crazy what's out there in our world today. Some people's opinions, politicians saying anything to get a vote, people siding with radical, crazy extremist groups, trying to make them seem normal. It's nuts. Not to mention, you know, deceptive business tactics. I mean, get on Instagram and watch these people that they just want to post pictures, and some of them are crazy looking or whatever, just radical. Some of them have some good stuff too. But anyway, so if you don't fuel up with the good stuff, you're going to get the bad stuff. That's the bottom line. So we're going to have a quiet start first. We'll do that in just a minute. Second thing we're going to do is, now that we're filled up, you have the permission and the ability to start your engines and start the journey, the day's journey. And I broke the journey down into 4 things for me. You can change this. Pebbles is my P word for rocks. So big rocks. We're going to take care of the pebbles, the rocks first. Big ones first, then the little ones where there's no room. People. Who are you going to interact with today? By natural happenstance and by intentional, proactive choice. What are the places, events, virtual, real, that you need to be a part of today, or that you need to get on your calendar that are coming up soon? And what's the plan? What's the strategic plan time-wise to implement that? Okay. And then we're going to pedal to the metal and launch. Okay. So let's fuel up first. And I have something really good for you today. I think you're going to really like it. And I was really studying this morning, trying to find a really good example of someone over their lifetime that was committed to momentum. And I don't think I would have ever thought of this as I've studied and read the Bible, for my whole life. And somebody asked me, they said, "You're a pastor?" I said, "No." I said, "I really try hard to get up and put God first every day, but I fail a lot. And I try and study and learn more about God so that I can be a better follower of God and things." And so I'm in His Word. I study in the Bible a lot, or read books, or listen to people that are much more godly than I am. And I started studying the character of King David in the Bible and how successful he was. He fell too. I mean, he had a great fall and sin in his life with Bathsheba. Even murdered her husband, or he didn't actually murder him, but put him in a place in battle where he would more than likely be killed, and he was. But through all that, he was the man that was known after God's own heart, and did great things for Israel as king. So I thought about his life being a life of momentum, his journey from being a shepherd boy, literally, a sandal, barefoot shepherd boy, to being good morning, Melinda, to becoming the king of Israel. It's a powerful narrative of building momentum through faith, courage, and consistent action, okay? And so let's think about the beginnings. As a shepherd, he learned a lot of things, but he faced Goliath, the giant. In his victory over Goliath, it wasn't just one act of bravery. It didn't just happen. No, it was built on the momentum of his past experiences. He defended his flock from lions and bears. You think that gave him some courage and confidence and faith to fight the battles God had ahead for him? He built on success. He didn't just stop there. After he defeated Goliath with a slingshot, David's skills and momentum continued to grow as he led armies. He won battles, and eventually he became king. But that forward momentum of building off the past and doing things and getting better and better and stronger and more equipped, it demonstrated how small victories can build into monumental achievements, huge achievements, okay? And then don't forget spiritual momentum. David's faith. He was a man after God's own heart. His faith and reliance on God grew stronger and stronger through each challenge, because God showed up and gave him the strength and victory to win battles he shouldn't have won. And he got to face bigger and bigger obstacles. And ultimately, the momentum that was built throughout his life allowed him, at the climax and at the end, to leave an amazing legacy. And Solomon, his son, who also made mistakes, was known to be the wisest man that ever lived and the richest. And But David's story is a really good example of how faith, belief, faith-driven activities can build unstoppable momentum over time. I thought that was a great lesson this morning. It was good for me. I hope that's good fuel for you. But that's an example of how I fuel up every day. You know, um, I have if you love to study, um, Trey Bowden. Trey, are you on here, or is that Beth today? Somebody's joined us and is helping me out. I'm not sure if it's Trey or Beth. I think it's Beth. But Trey Bowden and I both many years ago got the early versions of a Bible study software called Logos, Logos, and then I didn't use it for like 8 years, and I just got it again. It's so good. It has all the AI, artificial intelligence stuff built into every translation of the Bible, the Greek, the Hebrew. It's an amazing tool. It's a subscription model now. You used to have to pay and buy this big library up front, but now you can just pay monthly. But it's great if you want to use it. Hey, Beth, I thought that might have been you. Okay, so now that was our lesson from yesterday. Okay, so now we got to start our engines up. This is the meat of this Momentum Mornings thing. It's when we do the things, we get organized, and you make a decision to do what you got to do. And I'm going to tell you, the last step is putting the pedal to the metal. So we're going to get organized and get ready right now, and then I'm going to make sure you do it here at the end, okay? So I would like for you to grab that sheet that you downloaded, or you can look at the screen for a minute if you want to, but I want you to take just a few minutes, and we're not going to take long because we're going to go maybe 9 or 10 more minutes, 8 or 9 more minutes on this Momentum Mornings, and then we're going to jump into like just some sequencing and plans for a great month, okay? Because this is our start well call for the month too. It's both. So pebbles, big rocks, and I'm gonna start combining here a few things because we're kicking off the month of May. So on a normal day, what I want you to do is I want you to define, and define in my mind means thinking about and discovering, acknowledging, realizing what you must get done today. What are your non-negotiable, I got to do these things. They're important. Activities, tasks, places you got to show up at. What are those? And then not just defining or discovering, but I want you to get them on the paper. I want you to write them down. I want them to be in front of you so you don't forget them. And after that, you can put down the smaller, littler rocks. And the little rocks to me are also things that just come up throughout the day. But the big rocks are things that I know I have to get done today. Okay. And I've got several of those. I've got phone calls I've got to make with customers. I've got things I have to do to get my PowerPoint ready for the Branson Boot Camp. I mean, there's just a lot of things, okay, that I've got to do today. But I'm going to make sure those get done. And the next thing I want on that paper is people. And yesterday we did, I think, a really good job of kind of bringing to a head what that looks like. When you say people for the day, you want me to have momentum and get some inertia and something established and get going with the people today. What does that mean? Well, I'm going to divide that group of people into 2 big categories, and then we'll break one of them down. But it would do you justice, and you can do this weekly too, but who are you going to see, run into, bump into, talk, stand next to in a line, sit next to at a restaurant? Who are you going to see today without you like scheduling a Juice Plus conversation, recruiting call, anything intentional about your business? But as you're going to do life today, you're going to wake up, you're going to do breakfast, coffee, quiet time, exercise. Maybe you're going to go to the gym. Maybe you're going to go to an appointment somewhere. You're going to go to work and be with colleagues. You're going to be at school doing parent stuff, and you're with other moms. Who are you going to be with? Who are you already going to come in contact with if you did nothing else but just live your life today? and think about those conversations. Is there somebody that you're going to bump into that's not on your list, but you can make sure you have a superfood sample on hand if the opportunity arises itself, and you got a water bottle and you can dump it in there and say, "Here, try this." But if you don't have it with you, you can't do it if the opportunity creates itself. So if you put those people down, you're going to say, "Okay, gosh, that person, I see their child eating donuts every day. That was like a Kurt, thank you. That was a moment. I'm going to see this parent today. Their kid's a little chubby, maybe obese, but I'll say chubby to be nice, stocky, and but donuts and sugary cereal are the culprit. And if they would just do a smoothie in the morning, it'd be a game changer. Or, maybe someone else. She's always talking about how her kids can't focus, and she's talking about going and get them tested, getting them on ADD medication. Why not let them try Illuminate, help them focus? So those people you're just going to run into naturally. And then I want you to make sure you make the second category is the intentional calls you're going to make today, the proactive calls, the people you're going to reach out to. And I'm going to give you 3 categories. I want you to make X number, and you can choose the number, but if you're full time, it shouldn't be less than 5 in each category. If you're part time, you could go down to 3 or 2, okay? But I want you to make X number of cold calls. Now, that can scare you to death if you didn't hear me yesterday explain it, but a cold call is not what you think. It's not like the New York stockbroker dialing for dollars from the phone book or from a list. No, these are people you're going to know. I mean, I like to do people in business with people that there's some reason we're connected, whether it's friends on Facebook, next door neighbors, went to school together. I'm going to call and say, "Hey, Susie, this is Kurt." And she's not going to say Kurt who. She's going to know. Those are the kind of people I like to talk to, okay? Those don't always work with Facebook interactions, but you're starting the process. You're actually meeting each other on Facebook. By the time I'm on the phone with somebody I meet on Facebook, they know my name, okay? But I want you to make X number of cold calls a day. And that doesn't mean calling off a list of people you don't know. That means making calls to people that you do know, that you interact with, that you have a connection with of some kind, that they've never heard you mention Juice Plus. So Juice Plus is cold to them. You're not cold, but Juice Plus is cold. So you're starting a new conversation that wasn't already in process. How many cold calls are you going to make today? I want you to make X number of warm calls today. Those are people that you're in conversation with that have not yet made a decision. You're following up, answering a question, giving them research information. They are in the process of that sales principle that tells you 80% of all sales occur on the 5th conversation or after. Actually, it's 4th or 5th conversation or after. So the warm calls are people that are in that 2nd, 3rd, 4th call that you're following up with. And then the hot calls every day, X number of hot calls, those are existing customers, existing team members that you're calling to educate, motivate, encourage, inspire, hug on, love on, care, appreciate, equip them for the journey ahead of them, okay? That's your people. And then places. Places we're going to define as events that you need to be a part of today. Today is Wednesday, May the 7th. What do you have going on that you need to get on? You need to check maybe on boards, maybe on Facebook, maybe on your team Voxer. Are there any events today that you need to be a part of that you've neglected, that you missed? Did you miss Wendy's Whys in the Wow last night? Did you miss the May launch call yesterday? If you did, you can listen to the replay. May kickoff call. Lots of good stuff. Tomorrow's the boards call to launch the Juice Plus corporate boards page. So you need to get those things on your calendar. Which boot camps are you going to? Are you going to Branson, Waco, Summer in the Rockies, the Ohio boot camp, Buckeye boot camp, or joining me at the Blue Ridge boot camp, BlueRidgeBootCamp.com. They're all going to be amazing. And then once you get those places down for the day, I want you to have a plan. And that plan to me is strategically how you're going to attack the day. Break it down into sections. I break my day down into 2 big sections. You know what it is? I work hard first so that I can play hard later. I feel like I'm rewarding myself that I can go get done what I got to do and then I can go do what I want to do. So get done what you have to do so that you can go do what you want to do. That's a good quote. I might claim that one. Okay. And then the last part of this. Okay, let me give you just a minute. I told you I would. Take 2 minutes and work on this, but you may not finish, but get started working on this. You may have been working on it while I was talking, but let's get big rocks, little rocks. Let's get the right people, the conversations, the ones you're going to see anyway, and the cold, warm, and hot you're going to see intentionally. Let's get the places and events that you need to be at today, the ones you need to be at in the future, maybe the ones you need to register for. Maybe you need to go to BlueRidgeBootCamp.com and sign up and then make a commitment you're going to get somebody to go with you. Maybe because it'll sell out. Maybe you need to book your ticket for Indy. If you make QSC, you get a free ticket to Indy. They just announced that. Go back and listen to that call. So go to work for just a minute, and then we're going to finish up. Look at Beth taking notes. She's like AI. She's so smart. She's like just transcribed. Great job, Beth. Thank you. Well, Alan, I'm glad this is what you need to hear as you're working. You know, sometimes it's just a matter of hearing it out of somebody else's mouth. I don't know, maybe, your upline just keeps hammering something into you and you don't follow up. It's like me trying to teach my daughter how to play tennis. I play collegiate tennis. I am perfectly capable of teaching her how to play tennis and not need to pay anybody else. But when I try to teach her, she does not listen to Dad. It took paying for somebody like that third party and made a huge difference. Just made a huge difference. Sometimes you know how to do stuff, but you're not the best explainer, motivator, encourager, or teacher. So it's good. Small victories can lead to big impact. That's right, Lisa. You know what a big shot is, don't you? It's just a little shot that kept on shooting. Okay. Hey, Cindy. Hope it's a more beautiful day in Illinois than it is in Georgia today. It's a mess. Rhonda Crawford says she teaches tennis. Cool beans. You know what? I hate to say this, but I play a little bit of tennis, but I'm in love with pickleball. I kind of the tennis racket. Once I started playing pickleball, the tennis racket stays in the back of the car most of the time. I did just get a new one. I hadn't, but I'm committed to my buddy this year. I'm gonna play more tennis with him, but I really love pickleball. Anybody else play pickleball? All right, here we go. Last step. Pedal to the metal. That means we've talked about you're fueled up. I gave you good fuel for the day, and you can do it yourself too after today. You took your pebbles, your people, your places, and your plan. You got it down. Now what's going to make you go do that? Well, I told you one of the things is I work on my plan. One of the things that makes me go do this is I know that after I work hard, I get to play hard. So that's motivation for me. Is that motivation for you guys? I hope it is. Because I want you to have fun things in your life that you look forward to doing because you've decided to do this business and you're building it so that you don't trade hours for dollars the rest of your life. But here's my picture for the day. I'm probably going to try and make this a little bit bigger for you. Yeah, let me blow it up. So this is my quote. I was listening to a podcast this morning. Got up early. So I've already had I listened to a podcast, had my quiet time. I've done my exercise. And I love this quote. It says, "You will do more to avoid pain than you're willing to do to get gain." Think about that for a minute. You will do more to avoid pain than you're willing to do to get gain. Here's a perfect example of that. You've heard of people use the term FOMO. People will rise up and do something because they're afraid and they fear missing out. It would be pain for them to miss out on that. So the fear of missing out makes them join and commit and do something. And so what I'd like for you to do today is some of those big rocks, some of those people, those conversations, some of those places that you need to be at. What happens if you don't do them? What's going to happen to your business if you don't make wise choices and do the right things? I see a lot of people, and I'll talk to let me give you an example. I'll talk to somebody that's they'll say they use the word that they're stuck. They have no stuck would be the opposite of momentum. Procrastination or stuckedness. I know that's not a word, but um, whether you're a procrastinator or you're just stuck. So I'm talking to this person. They want me to help them, want me to coach them in their business. And one of the first things that I do is we look at what they're currently doing. Where are they spending their time? What are they doing? And most of the time, I will get their calendar out, and they're wanting a full-time paycheck, and they're putting in 2 or 3 hours of real productive activity in their business. So what I'm going to show them is that if you keep doing this, if you don't fill your conversation pipeline up and you start each month out with 0 people you're talking to, and it's a struggle for you and you don't like conflict, you don't like to put pressure on people, you're never going to build this business. You're going to work hard at this and get nothing. I also see people that are very artsy, organized, and they're wonderful people when you to have around you. And they're just like, they're like on top of the game. They have the best business cards. They have actually a version for, a children's health study, and they have a different business card version for just generic Juice Plus business. They've got their files organized. If you went into their Dropbox folder, it's updated every day. The old files are deleted. The new files they've got everything named and titled just perfectly. Oh, I wish that was true in my life. I've got so many files on my computer, but I don't name them right. I know I have a plan of putting the date first, then the name that describes it. But I just move stuff around and I don't get around to that because I got too many people to talk to. I got too many big rocks. I got too many places I got to go. But the people that tell me they're stuck, guess what? They have the most beautiful business cards. They have the most organized computers. They listen to more watch more Juice Plus YouTube videos. They're on more Juice Plus Zoom calls than anybody I know of. But you know what? They're not taking care of big rocks. They're not talking to people. They don't have a plan. They're not being in the places they need to be. They're doing the activities. It's like Paul when he was talking to the church in which one was it? I think it was the Thessalonians. Was it the Thessalonians? It doesn't matter. I think it was the church of Thessalonica, but he was talking to this church and he says, you're busy. He was like, what are y'all doing? He was trying to like correct them and rebuke them. He said, what are y'all doing? He says, we're busy. We're doing this, and this, and this. And he says, yeah, you're busy, but you're busy about the wrong things. Busyness doesn't always mean victory. Busyness can just mean you're wound up doing things and you can't see the trees. You can't see the forest for the trees, So what on your list can you look at and say, if I don't do this, this is going to happen, and I don't want that to happen? I want you to see the gain and the benefit too, but I'm telling you, if you will look at the consequences of you not doing some of the things we've set in place, that's where you're really going to get motivated. Okay. All right. I don't have slides today for our start well, but let's talk about, we're just going to switch gears here. Let's see if this will work so I can just talk. Yes, there we go. So what if, and Beth, if you want to grab a few things, I think you may be able to find them, but if you want to grab, on boards, if you want to go and grab some links to the new flyers and things that we have for, May. But what we do every month, guys, maybe some of you've just joined us for Momentum Mornings, but you weren't a part of our regular coaching schedule. Every month we take the earliest Wednesday in the month we can make happen. So it's usually like second, third, or fourth, but sometimes it'll fall out of that depending on where weekends fall and stuff. But it's always in the first week. We do a Start Well coaching call right here. So that's what this is. This is the first Wednesday of the month. And we jump in and we gather where we are. So we assess what happened last month. We ask 3 questions: what went well, what went wrong, what do we need to do different? We do a coaching call with our upline. We draw a picture of our organization so we have a visual to see what we're looking at. And then we dive in and make a plan for the month. We set our goals, and your goals can be bigger and bolder and way more achievable and successful if you do what? I want to see who, and I know Melinda knows this. Put people on the spot. Rhonda probably knows. What do we always say? How do you make your goals bigger and more achievable? What do you do? What do you need to do? How do you take the big goal and make it easier? What's the number one thing? I'm going to give you a second. Sometimes nobody may answer. Let's see here. Who else would know? Lisa would know. Karen probably would know. I guess I won't have to tell you. You break it down into smaller goals. If you want to have a big goal, you need to reach out to all your team members that you're mentoring and coaching. Break it down into pieces. There you go. So if you have 10 team members or 5 team members or 100 team members, wherever you are in whatever stage of development of your business, if you'll realize and help them see what their goals are for the month and let them know you're there to support them and you will take that goal along with them, then their goal becomes a component of your goal. I'll give you an example. This is the bigger goal. Let's say you're trying to make 12 club. How do you make 12 club? Well, if it was me, I would build 4 3 clubs or 2 6 clubs. I would not think I had to go out and find and develop and lead 12 people into a qualifying business. I'm like, I want to find 4 people that really want to build their business that I know could lead 3. And I want to equip, motivate, encourage, inspire, and support 4 to get 3. That's way easier than me getting 12. And then you have your goals, okay? Maybe it's qualifying your business. How are you going to qualify your business? Well, what if you could help 3 people make Partner Plus this month? And that's a part of your 1,800 points that you need to qualify your business. And you get a bonus for helping them make Partner Plus. They get a bonus, and you're going to get, if it's your first time qualifying, you're going to get a qualifier's bonus. So there's lots of benefits there, but you got to break your goals down into smaller goals, okay? So we do that every single month on our coaching call to kick off the month. We put our plan in place. Our upline that's coaching us knows what our plan is. And then we begin to work the plan. We put events on the calendar, things that we talked about this morning. We do that we do that for the month. We're looking at the month instead of a day, okay? We set a goal. How many customers do you want? How much do you need to increase your volume to qualify? So how much volume do you want? How many people are you going to get on the company's incentives this month? Let's talk about that for a minute. We have several things going on right now. One of them is the Reset 25. So the offer is if you get a capsule trio customer, they get 30 servings of Luminate, 2 15-box packages, and they get to choose whether they want their samples of complete in chocolate or vanilla. They pick, okay? And so it's about $127 value for free. I think that's what the number was. So you get all of that when you do a trio order, and that's equipping them for the call next Thursday, which is our prospect kickoff call to explain everything. On the 22nd, there's a partner training call of how you're going to implement this. And then on June 2nd, we're all going to launch on our Facebook pages the Reset 25, where they're going to give us, the company is going to equip us with 25 things to post. We're going to have 25 straight days of posting and equipping people that are on our essential capsules and our complete program doing the Reset 25 with us. And you can onboard as many people as you want to using that Reset incentive right now, okay? So yes, Beth just put the link in there where you can see the Reset. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Okay, Cynthia, you got that. That's good. So you got to do all those things, okay? And then near the end of the month, as you're working that plan, somewhere around the 25th, the last Wednesday of the month, it could be the 4th Wednesday if they're 5, but we do it the last Wednesday where you've got at least 4 or 5 days left. So you've got almost a week to finish. We say, okay, it's time to pony up, see where we are. We've set goals. We're not quitters. We're not procrastinators. We're going to finish what we started. So let's see what we got to do. So that finish strong call that we do on that late Wednesday in the month, we're going to gather you with your upline mentor again, assess where you are from the data we have, and then we don't quit and feel defeated. We roll up our sleeves. We, you know, drink a little extra Luminate if we need to have a late night working session. We pull in the resources of our upline and say, hey, I've got these 10 people. I need three-way calls. We need to connect. Yeah, I need help. We got to close. So you finish what you started. And we're determined here for procrastination not to be your destination. We don't want procrastination to be your destination. And the way we do that is that last call. We know we've proven it. I've done it. Many of you have done it. You use urgency to destroy procrastination. Okay. So you've got your day started. We did a great momentum morning today. It's our last daily one. This is our coaching call for you to start well. So I want you to get with your upline, plan the month, make sure you see where you ended the previous month, because all that's in the computer now. Set your goals for this month. Your goal can be bigger if you will be a good leader and reach down and find the goals of the people you're working with. Make their little goals be a part of your goal, which means your goal can be bigger. Many hands make for light work. There's a scripture verse for that too. And it's a good verse. And I'll show you a trick. Use ChatGPT to find the Bible verse about where there are many oxen, the stable is not clean. Hold on, it's coming. Use ChatGPT to find the Bible verse about the oxen where the stable is not clean. Watch this. It's going to find it. Okay, here it is. Find the Bible verse about where the stable, where the oxen are, it's not clean. Yep. Okay, here we go. You're going to love this. Proverbs 14:4. Where no oxen are, the manger is clean, but much increase is by the strength of the ox. Okay, so that verse is talking about if you've got a stable that's clean and empty, like pristine stable, that's a sign that there are no ox present. And when there are no ox present, not much work gets done. So with the stable as the illustration, there is going to be dirty repercussions of many oxes around if it's a productive stable. I want to tell you, your business is going to have bigger goals and higher productivity if there's signs of many people around. And it needs to be out of control. Like, you don't need to try and control it. If you're a control freak, you need to equip other people and let this business get beyond your control. If you control it, you'll choke it. Pray that your business gets so big you can't control it. Pray that you've got so many calls to make you can't make them all. Pray that you've got so many people that you need to follow up with that you're doing the best you can, but it's enormous. It's like the disciples when they were fishing and they couldn't catch any fish, and they couldn't catch any fish, and they were just giving up. And all of a sudden Jesus says, just toss the net over there. And they said, we've been doing this all day. And he says, no, toss the net over there. And they're bringing this huge thing of fish. Trust, have faith. You can move mountains. Fuel up with good stuff. Try your best to put God first and watch what he'll do with his resources to bless your business, because you'll be full of his stuff to go influence the people that he loves that you're going to come in contact with and have conversations with. It can be a great day. May is going to be a great month. April's check was amazing. Travis is leading us to new places. We are in a great place. So I'm so glad you joined me this morning. I hope you enjoyed the 5 momentum mornings we did. Those will be on a playlist on YouTube here in a day or two. Trey's going to put that together. And this Start Well call will be on YouTube also. And it'll be on Facebook. So everybody you tag can go watch it later. Okay? Be messy. Yeah, Diane, my mom used to say when she sold aloe vera cream, she said she was just a dingbat with a jar of cream. And that's how she ran her life. And she made hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, all right. Glad you joined me. I hope you had a good time, and I hope you have the best Wednesday you've had in a long time, and I hope May is your best month ever. And keep focusing on that December 31st. What will it look like on December 31st, 2025, for you to look backwards and said, that was an amazing year? That tomorrow, that picture of what your year would look like if it was successful, if you'll keep focusing on that, you'll do the things today to make it happen. Okay? God bless.